All right, welcome. Hello, everyone. So in today's video, I'm going to address the recent hike that we have and go over some numbers and discuss if we are in fact in a trend reversal, and is this are we getting ready to start like the next bull run? And I'm also going to address like some of the catalysts that I think we're going to have for the next few months. So as normal, let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to place this in the chat. Hear me, and we'll get started. I think this is the biggest point that we're going to have. Okay. Angry Lion, I'm not angry anymore. Okay, so okay, great. I'm glad everyone can hear me. Okay, so getting into the video here, I wanted to address primarily like the reality that we're seeing. For the basis of it, I believe primarily this is going to be like a two-edged sword, but I believe primarily this is, you said bull trap. It can potentially be. I just don't believe that the underlying catalyst for the money fleeing the market has changed. But I do believe that the job reports numbers that came out today had something to do with it. And when I heard that there was a decline as far as like in the offers and people searching, I thought that it would ultimately have a positive effect on the market. But yeah, more than likely, the underlying catalyst for this hasn't changed. And I think that, and even just looking at the numbers here, before we start saying this is a trend reversal, which is why I even titled this video, is this a trend reversal, is we have to look at the actual numbers, right? So, and we're going to have to, and I'm going to do this first before I get into the catalyst. Let's look at the charts. So before we start saying words like trend reversal, and we're going to have to come up and retest a couple of these lines. Primarily, the leader in the conversation for today, as far as for dictating the trend reversal in the market, obviously will be Bitcoin, and I'm going to address that in a moment. But I want to start here with Doge, and we're going to need to come back pretty much and retest, because we pretty much started like a similar pattern to almost like lower highs, but this is pretty even. So if you want to split hairs, you can call it, but we're not going to say, okay, well, we're in a trend reversal or this is a bullish onset until we are around like 1835. That's Dogecoin's number. I gave the projections for Bitcoin as well. I said that in order for it to be a trend reversal, we need to hit some numbers at around like 42 to 45. So let me take a look here. And I think it's actually around, 42 to 44, but I'm pretty sure it's around like 44. Let's see, that's the last retest. So yeah, we're looking at around like 44,376, roughly around 44,000. You can just call it that before we say, okay, well, we're having a new trend reversal. And in this pattern of lower highs, we've broken, because even though it was like the 21-day moving average has been a great testing point, but we've risen, we peaked above it here slightly to like 59,000 back on, what was this, December 4th. And we broke above it here as well on the 5th at around 52,000. So it's not, we typically touch on the 21-day moving average, but it's not uncommon for us to break above it. But just looking at the numbers here, before we can say it's a trend reversal, we're going to have to hit like 44,000 and stuff for Bitcoin. And obviously that's going to be a catalyst as far as we're going forward. So when it comes down to the coins and what can we expect going forward, I think as long as we look at the underlying catalyst as far as what's going on long term, that's going to be a deciding factor on how to play the market. But and the two-edged sword that I was speaking on earlier is the fact that the jobs are pretty much saying that, oh, well, the economy is actually really strong, and the job market is going to be able to withstand higher rate hikes, right? So if you say there's a decline in like unemployment and the job market is bullish, then the feds really have no reason to start easing the economy into these lower, well, I'll say smaller interest rate hikes. So they can just be like, oh my God, the economy is so strong, it's okay. It's okay. The economy can handle it, because what did Jerome Powell say? He basically said that the purpose of the Feds is the Federal Reserve is not so that everybody's stock can moon, right? He said the purpose of the Federal Reserve is economy participation, which is basically jobs, and to control the inflation rate. So if the economy participation rate is being reported that it's fantastic and we're actually headed in the right direction, then it's like, oh, okay, well, we can afford to be more aggressive here to handle the second part of our job, which is inflation. So this can kind of, in the short term, this can be great, but in the long term, this can result in us having more aggressive interest rate hikes because the job reports are coming out as bullish. So the numbers for returns, or not returns, the numbers for reversals, 44,000 for Bitcoin, roughly 1835 for Dogecoin. So until we break those numbers, we can just assume that we're going to still be in the trend that we've been in for like the last month or so, and we'll be fine. Just outside of we have to keep an eye on like the catalysts that are coming out, so we can just better gauge it. But until the underlying reasons that for the extraction of money overall in the market change, then I don't see a reason to adjust any of the numbers going forward. So I expected there to be some hikes. I expected there to be one around the wash rule. I expect there to be one because of income tax, child tax credit. I expect all of that. So a lot of that money to be injected into the markets. So especially now with retail participation so high. So I do expect there to be a few hikes before March, April, when we get some definite information from the Fed. But until we hit those numbers, I'm not looking at anything for a trend reversal. So I think that we are still on course. And obviously, as I said earlier this week, if you have a X amount of money, give yourself the opportunity to get some of those lower rates. But even with Doge, what I was saying last night was that I buy just simply because we are holding up a little better than I anticipated, even at the 12 cents. We're getting strong bounces off of that. So I don't want to completely miss my opportunity to get some of these prices, but I'm not going all in. Just giving myself the opportunity to pick up more if that is in case that is in fact the case, if we can get that breakdown to the lower side. So that is what I'm doing, and these are the numbers that we have for tonight. Let's see here. Let's see. All internet in an 80-mile radius is out, and my phone connection is whacked in my area. What's happening? I can't see charts. I can barely catch 2 words before it lags out. Oh wow, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. What do I think about Clifford Coin? I've looked at it briefly. I have to dissect it a little more, but I'm not a fan of it as of right now. Let's see, it reminds me of the stirrings in the early part of last year. And if that is real annual cycle, then that would be extremely exciting. Watching and waiting though, and know to chill. I think that, long term, I think that the biggest cloud over the market right now is what's going on with the Feds in the March, April timeframe, right? I think that's the biggest catalyst for what's going on. Outside of that, I think we're going to be, fine. I think that any of the short-term noise is not going to have an effect overall on where these coins are going to go. So, any of the positions that I'm long on, I'm still bullish on, regardless of what happens in the short term. So, we'll see. But the markets, even outside of the Feds, the markets will have to consolidate at some point. We can't just be on this upward trajectory into the moon all the time. So we'll have corrections, pullbacks, stuff like that. But so that's normal. But long term, I think we'll be fine in the positions that we hold. Get a little jump today. Yeah, absolutely. You think we're going to have a Bart Simpson on BTC? Um, it's possible. Because at the end of the day, before I say that we're in a trend reversal or something like that, I'm going to need to see Bitcoin at around like 44,000. So I think we're going to have to break, come up there and start testing those lines before I'd be like, oh, okay, well, we're breaking out or we're setting a new trend here. So we're going to have to see kind of like how it acts and look at the macros to kind of get like a projection. But as far as for it peaking above the 21-day moving average and stuff like that, it's done this several times. So I think that as of right now, we just kind of have to wait and see. So, and that's one of the reasons why I compare it to the macro thing, stating that it hasn't changed. Any of the underlying things hasn't changed yet. So we'd have to wait and see to see if we're going to get that reversal. But the numbers are, 18.35 for Doge and around 44.3 for Bitcoin. So until those gaps are filled, we're in the same position. So either way, long term, both of these coins are going to do very well. And short term, the catalyst hasn't changed. So we're still on track to, if we plan this year out, we're still on track to get coins at great prices. So until those numbers change. David, I wanted to ask this last night. I just moved to Carrollton, Villa Rica area from California. Where's all the good food at? Is it mostly in Atlanta? Where is it mostly? It depends on, I guess, what kind of food you like. So it's just, it really just depends. Is it mostly in Atlanta? Especially, well, I guess if you're referring to like in Atlanta, it really just depends as far as for like what kind of food you like. But if you're talking about, when you say you moved to California, when you say you moved to the Carrollton, Villa Rica area from California. So it really just depends on what you like, but there's a little everything here. There's a bunch of communities here. It's very diverse. You have little, like Mexican areas, Italian areas. It's like every country here and their ethnic foods is available. So you have, it really depends. My favorite one would be Desta. So I think that if you can try that place out if you're here, it'll be really great. And that's it's in Atlanta as well. What great change can thoughts on Evergrow coin? I haven't heard of it. I have to take a look at it. What great change can Dogecoin make now to move it above Bitcoin? Whoa. What do you mean move above Bitcoin? In terms of price, if you're talking about price, that's impossible. But if you're talking about like utility or like market cap, market cap and stuff like that, that's more than likely that's not going to happen just because of fundamentals and where the money comes from. But we can certainly move up in the top 10 based off of utility. But as far as for it being above Bitcoin, fundamentally, that would be impossible. It has scarcity value. So that, as far as for the amount overall, the only way we can increase our values through utility, and Bitcoin can increase its value value simply based off of supply and demand. So it would be difficult to compare the two. So I don't think that that's mathematically feasible. Mexican food in Atlanta. No, you'd be surprised. There's literally little communities of like in Atlanta. You have like Mexican communities, Latino communities. You have like Italian communities. You have like the African communities and stuff like that. And like you'd be surprised. Like these communities are like literally all over the city, and they bring and start their own like restaurants and stuff like that. So you can literally have like a taste of the world. I'll have to fly to all these places to see if they've changed the recipes and stuff like that. But if somebody is from a particular place and they cook food and say this is an authentic dish, I have no way of validating it or not believing them. So it's there's a wide variety of food here. Let's see. I hate price predictions, but I gotta ask, what do you think we might possibly hit this year? For what? Doge, Bitcoin. It really just depends. Like as far as even with the price predictions, because I'm not a fan of them as well, because there's always something that's not being accounted for. Last year, the market expansion, the community spreading out. Like it was a bunch of things that there's a lot of things that the chart says. There's a lot of things that it doesn't say. So I can't. I can't, give it like all inclusive. What what we need to focus on is, like the catalyst and trying to make sure that we're moving forward with utility. So price prediction, I don't even want to put a number out there. I'd say let's, you said for Doge, yeah. Even as far as for the market trajectory, like I know I've been saying this like the last few weeks in particular, but I really need to see how aggressive and stuff the Feds are going to be, right? I need to, before I can get like an idea of like the year and stuff like that, I really need to have like those concrete numbers, because I can say one thing and then, Jerome says another, so, there it goes. So it's just, I really need to see like those numbers, but ultimately, I would like to see us I would like to see us come up and test like our all-time high, especially with the momentum that we have the potential to get from like an AMC Dogecoin. That's AMC is probably, even outside of marketing, as far as for utility, AMC is probably the one that I'm most excited about. The Doge one and stuff like that is great, but that's more so it's marketing, and then they're spending a bunch. But as far as for the coin being accessible to the community and us having the opportunity to spend the coin repetitiously every week, I'm really excited about the AMC partnership, right? So that's what I'm primarily focused on. I can kind of maybe get a better idea based off of the engagement of the community from there, but outside of that, it's really difficult. AMC, no, AMC is fine. I think that we are. I'm still expecting a move from AMC this first quarter. The what's going on with AMC, because the amount of shares that they're borrowing to get minimal price movement is incredible. I made a post about this on Twitter the other day. They borrowed like 7 million shares and it moved like $1. So I believe that we're at that point. I don't know if you watched any of my older AMC videos, but I said that the closer we get to the actual equilibrium or the price where it's oversold and the momentum picks up, it's kind of like pushing a spring, right? So the closer you get to the base, the more power and pressure it takes to push the spring. So it's not as easy as it is when it's higher. And I think that we're reaching that point, which is why we're seeing them burn through a lot of borrowed shares for very minimal price movement. So I think that we're getting close to being due for a huge upswing from just the amount of BS that's been going on. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that 7 million shares and the stock went down like $1, I was excited about that, because they're having to spend a lot to get this price movement in the direction that they want. So, and the cheaper it gets, obviously, the more people are going to buy. So this puts us in a great position. Let's see, what percentage of your liquid assets should be invested in crypto? That's I'm not a financial advisor, so I try to stay away from stuff like that. I'll just say that's like a personal decision. I try not to get into, take your money and divide it up this way and stuff like that. Because when I start playing with that kind of information, I'm playing on the edge of legality. As far as for me, I'm actually going. I'd say I'm more heavier than stocks right now. But this year, if we get the breakdown that I think we will, I'll take a more aggressive approach in crypto. So probably even like a 60-40 for me. Yeah, for you, you do what you feel is best. Let's see, if Walmart accepted Dogecoin, what would be the price? I can't give that. I don't know, but I know that that is mass utility. So it would be absolutely phenomenal if Walmart accepted Dogecoin. That would be, that's like grade A, like that's like tier one utility there, right? Walmart's largest employer in the country. That would be really, really exciting for Walmart to do something like that. I would be really excited. That's one of the only thing I can think of that would even rival that would probably be like Amazon, but Walmart accepting Doge would be incredible utility, and I think that that will certainly, if the community, especially, I don't know what percentage of us actually shop at Walmart, but if we supported Walmart, like I think that we could, well, it's not Walmart, but Dogecoin at Walmart, we could really reduce that, put a strain on that supply or the float for Dogecoin, and we'll get a really strong price reaction. So I don't know the math behind it, but I just know it'll certainly be positive. I can say that greatly. I watch your stream every night because I'm eager about my investment in Doge. I want to see more utility for it so other people will want to invest. There's so many people out there that aren't buying. Yeah, I mean, like when it comes to people aren't buying, yeah, you have people that are, pretty much waiting to see, and I understand that because we're in a period in the market now where there's great uncertainty, right? Like we don't know as far as for how this year is going to be yet. We're looking at charts, to kind of get like an indicator of the future, but we have people that can with the swipe of the pen change the trajectory of the year. So there's a lot of people that are like, okay, well, are we going to consolidate here, or are we going to get that breakdown to the lower side? Because again, we're getting positive job numbers now. Like Powell can come out and be like, see, look, jobs are doing great. 0.5% interest rate, 3 times this year, 4 times this year, whatever. And people are going to have to rebalance their one of people, but a lot of those whales and stuff like that are going to have to rebalance those portfolios. That money is going to start being extracted. So they're like, oh, okay, well, if I'm in Doge and this has the potential to happen, I can possibly get this for a cheaper price. So I'm just going to wait, and there's not really much you can do about that. Which is why I put these videos out. And that's why I put these videos out, so we can kind of be informed, so you can kind of make that decision for yourself. So, it's not really much you can do about that, but yeah, the utility as far as for the Doge one, yeah, you can create the marketing behind it so that way you can get it out to the community and have, not the community, but you can expose it to new people. And again, it adds the credibility to the coin so that you can have new investors and attract new money into the coin, or people that are already existing. They can say, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm just being impatient. So I can increase my coin count and be long-term in this. And I think this is actually going to go somewhere. I think that's how we have, the spark going back. But I think right now the uncertainty of not just Doge. So, I mean, we can look at the micro, but the macro is there's uncertainty in the market in general. So we're going to, have to wait and see. But I think that as the year goes on, we're going to be able to deal with that through a lot of our catalysts. 41st like, and there's 100 of us. Yeah, I can't see the likes, but if you found value in anything, just definitely like the channel. I like the video. Sorry. I'd appreciate it. Are you accepting Doge for channel merch? Not yet. I should integrate that, huh? Agree that Walmart acceptance will be huge, but rather see Costco, but Walmart would definitely make me money. Yeah, I have Walmart and Costco here. So yeah, but Costco would definitely be, and, it definitely makes sense with Costco because, Costco prefers Visa. So when I did my crypto to credit card comparison, and, with Visa has the lower transaction fees. So a lot of the warehouses and department stores like that, not the warehouses, but a lot of the clubs, warehouses, they prefer Visa just because of the transaction fees. So if transaction fees is a way that they aim to save money, we can certainly make that case for Dogecoin with someone like a Costco or a Sam's Club. So yeah, this definitely makes a lot of sense. Congress will introduce no taxes on transactions under $200. If that happened, it would be huge for mass adoption. Yeah, that would definitely help. Definitely help. Dogecoin at Walmart, David. Let's hear it. Hashtag Dogecoin at Walmart. Yeah, I can definitely. Yeah, matter of fact, I'll make a post. I'll probably do it tonight or in the morning. Like a Walmart Dogecoin hashtag. Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt, right? Just bring it to top of the mind awareness. Let's see, there should be no taxes at all. The government has contributed nothing for this crypto. Yeah, we do have always the pictures with Uncle Sam pointing and whatnot, but he needs to just have his hand out like that. But yeah, so you're not going to, because if there's no taxes like in crypto and stuff like that, it's going to, I don't want to say it'll be a threat to the stock market, but the crypto market is already growing at an unprecedented rate. So for them to say, no taxes at all in crypto, you're pretty much begging for a decline in the stock market, because at that point, especially like a lot of whales and these institutions, they're going to run into the crypto market. And we're going to see a rally that'll make last year look like a joke. So, and that for a measuring stick that they actually use for the economy, which is basically the stock market, that'll be detrimental. So I don't think they'll introduce something like that. I think if they want to do something like that, they'll probably do it in the stock market before they did it here, because that would be counterintuitive to their interest. Hashtag Walmart accept Dogecoin. Yeah, I'll make one on Twitter. Let's see, David. Everybody at Walmart is working on his own cryptocurrency, and Costco will probably. Yeah, I think that because I heard about that as far as for like a Walmart coin or a Costco coin, an Amazon coin. And here's the thing with that. I don't want to say it can't work, but at some point there'll have to be a universal method of exchange in cryptocurrency, right? And that's what we're hoping for with Dogecoin, because if I shop at, what if let's say Amazon has their own coin, Costco has their own coin, Walmart has their own coin, I don't know, McDonald's has their own coin. So do I have to, at all the places I shop at, do I now carry around 50 coins? Or when it comes down to convenience, do I have that one universal coin that converts into everything, or is just accepted everywhere? And I think that is going to be the attractiveness, because technically speaking, there's usually, even historically, there's usually this universal factor that's accepted everywhere. So we're going to, I think that if we continue down this pathway with Dogecoin, that's who will be chosen for that. Because when you have these, this expansion in the market, really, that's going on, and people are exploring, oh my God, why don't we just accept our own coin? Why don't we just build our own coin? It sounds great, but as far as the practicality, I don't think that it'll work on a large scale. Maybe some of the larger retailers can get away with it, like a Walmart or something like that. But ultimately, for me, it'll be difficult for me to see everybody carrying around like 50 different coins for all of their major shopping at some of the larger retailers. So I think that we'll have something that'll be a median of exchange that'll be good no matter what store you go to. So we'll see. That's an area of uncertainty in the market that we have there, because again, we're in uncharted waters. But we'll see. Let's see. Do we see Bitcoin at 20 before tax season is over? I wouldn't say necessarily before tax season is over. I think that we'll have an idea, a very strong indicator around like March or April. So around then, I think we'll have like all the concrete information that we need from the Fed. So as far as we're breaking trends and stuff like that, I still have no reason to change those projections. But as far as before the end of tax season, it can certainly be before. If you're talking about like late April, I think when I don't know if they're still going to do the extensions and stuff like that, but we can certainly see it before. But we'll know when we get, I think like the March 16th, I want to say is that meeting. So I think we'll have a strong idea then, if we haven't already broken down to those levels beforehand. Because even then, I think this is purely just based off of the job speculation. And I think that people in the short term, they're like, oh my God, we're going to rally and stuff like that. I think that we're adding fuel to Jerome's case to be more aggressive with these hikes. So which thus increases the opportunity for there to be mass money movement around in the market. So, it's possible, but it's hard to say at this point. But I do believe that, especially if they have the extension, we can certainly see it before tax season is over. So, because we haven't broke trend yet, so I have no reason to say that we're not going to continue downward. And I think that the next gap fill will put us at around 29K. So I think we're still on track so far. Let's see. I think Dogecoin can reach $1 this year. I know I sound crazy because we are 14, but yeah, no, not as crazy. I was in the market last year. Nothing's crazy in crypto. That makes me happy. It's not working. Let's see. I'm going to hit all the top Dogecoin YouTubers. Really need that Walmart Dogecoin. Uncle Elon will be down. Ethereum co-founder Robin, Mark Cuban will call. Love that. Yeah, I think that Walmart will change everything, really. Because again, what we're looking for when we're building with these relationships with these institutions and these catalysts, what we're looking for is, especially in a Dogecoin situation, outside of utility, is we're building credibility, right? And the second thing that we're building is the ability to prove that we're saying that the community in itself, it stands on things that are not just attached to Elon. Because I think that as an institution, before you say we're going to go through the work and the investment of integrating our systems to be able to accept this coin, how do we know that they're not just supporting it because of Elon? And I think that when we have like these things that like an AMC and stuff like that, that's not directly attached to like a Tesla or something, I think that builds the case that this is more on the community side and that these people actually want to use this coin, and it's to our benefit if we use them because the community is large and they typically show up, versus this is some bunch of like an Elon fanatic thing and people are just attached to like Elon and they're just following him around and supporting his different businesses. And if we do this, it's just going to turn out to be a waste of time. So I think that it's going to help tremendously. If we get catalysts like Walmart, AMC, McDonald's, all of these things are just going to be great. So I'm definitely, I don't think that's a bad idea. I'll definitely tweet it. I've tweeted about, I think I've tagged McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, Arby's. I've tagged Wendy's. I've tagged the top 10 restaurants around the country repeatedly about this. So I can certainly add Walmart to the list for sure. Let's see here. Let's see. Good evening. Why are we having a spike today? Thanks for the video. I think the spike primarily is due to the job reports. Because I think that job reports is ultimately indicating that anytime you get like a job economy participation, it looks bullish, right? So I think that because we had the large portion of the people's, not large portion, but some of the people saying that, the fear in the market was baked in, and the reaction that we got on those threatening corrections that we got, that's the fear of the market coming to the Fed hikes, right? And so it's already baked in. So we've seen the worst of it, and we're going to continue our bull run from here without the money. And no one's going to move money around due to money being harder to come around. And that's not the case. So I think that even though if you watched my video last night, I think that what happens here every time we get like this great news or this little spike, you'll have people come in and say, "Oh my God, this is the bottom." by the dip. But the biggest thing is the cloud that's overall hanging over the market. It hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. Like the short term, yeah, it's great that market economy participation is up, but what does that mean for the overall cloud that's hanging over the market? It means that now the Feds have concrete evidence to be more aggressive with these rate hikes. Jerome told us in the meeting, he said the Fed's two primary focuses are economy participation and inflation. He does not care about our stocks mooning and stuff like that. Like the Fed wasn't put into place because they don't want the stock market to go down, or everybody needs to moon and get rich and stuff like that. That's not the Fed's purpose. So we got to look at the entire thing here. So make sure that we're playing smart. But again, if you have a certain amount of money, you can still break it up over the course of the next few weeks to get an idea of exposure, to just give yourself the opportunity by not going all in at these prices to catch some of the lower prices if we get that breakdown. But in my opinion, numbers haven't changed. The catalyst for the negative down run hasn't changed. So I'm still staying course. But as far as for the spikes today, I think it's specifically because of those job reports, which is, the media controls the market in the short term. So until we actually hit some concrete numbers that indicates a trend reversal, I'm not getting excited about it. See, Dogecoin would have hit $1 a long time ago, but there's 1,000 copycats. Yeah, I do believe that market expansion and shiny object syndrome in the community and the amount of money that fled Dogecoin for some of these other coins, it dramatically affected the speed at which Dogecoin consolidated. I completely agree with that. Yeah, it's much harder to create your own coin that support a coin with good community. That's a fact. Hold on, sorry, my chat just refreshed. Everything got pushed up. Let's see. Thank you, Arkansas Raiders. I only invest $25 a week. Should I learn options? Options are a great play. Options have been good to me, especially the last 6 months on my calls. And even today, as I mentioned in my announcement section, I'm finalizing my puts for this year. So I'm, either way it goes. That's why I say either way it goes, I'll make money. But options are, I always believe in having, even outside of, the actual contracts, options as far as for giving yourself the leverage to take profit in a position by having strategic entries, averaging down. Options are always a beautiful thing to have. Like I'll never, and those are just not option contracts, but just giving yourself options. Options are always great, right? And that's really what a contract is. You have the option to buy some shares at your strike price or sell them. So I think that, I think that's a strategy that every investor should have in their back pocket, right? It gives you the opportunity to make money no matter which direction the market goes. So options are a absolute beautiful thing. So an opportunity when you have a market that is threatening a correction, you can, if a few strategic options placed, you can easily print you 5 figures. That's one thing. Either way it goes, I have my long positions. If the Feds come out and say, hey, look, we're going to do 0.25% twice this year or whatever, inflation's fine, great. I make money. If the market goes down, we have our correction. I make money on my puts and I reinvest it into the market. Great. Either way. So options are fantastic. You should definitely learn options. Burger King already did Dogecoin giveaways. That's a fact. They did. That's why I think that Burger King will probably be, a great, even with their comment that they made on Twitter, I think it'll be a great catalyst for them to move forward with going ahead and accepting it for payment as well. Do you think it's smart for Walmart to buy $10 billion of Dogecoin and tell everyone they're accepting it, Dogecoin, so they can benefit from the spike? Um, well, I mean, it would spike anyway from that amount of money going into it, but you know, it can happen. You know, things like the similar things have happened, but you know, even outside of if they don't just necessarily make a purchase, that's what I said that. Well, I did a video explaining how utility can increase the price of Dogecoin because when we have these large institutions and the amount of volume of people that will be spending Dogecoin at Walmart, it'll be counterintuitive for them to simply turn it around and sell it back into the market, especially once they've accumulated a lot. So typically, for the same reasons that you'll see CEOs and people that are heavily invested into certain stocks, that they own or that is their company, they have to drip them when they want to sell them, to liquidate them, because it'll hurt the overall evaluation of price and they'll end up with less money. So that's the position that something like a Walmart or Amazon would be in. They wouldn't just come out and dump all of their crypto because that'll be counterintuitive to the crypto that they already have and the crypto that they're currently receiving. So it'll actually even give us a form of market stability if they drip them. So that's an option, but either way, if they accepted Dogecoin or they simply got it through transactions, at some point they would hold a large wallet and they would benefit from the spike. So, and that's one of the reasons why they wouldn't sell all of them, because it would hurt their short-term profits. Let's see. Sorry, just joined, but do you see Dogecoin dropping past 10 cents soon? If so, what do you think? Sorry, new to this, but have 10K invested and I'm down 6K. Do I see Doge dropping to 10 cents soon? It's possible. It's possible. Thank you for the 499 chat, but it's possible. But it's really, as far as for Doge to drop to 10-cent range, I do think we'll have a lot of buying pressure there. But in order for that to happen, we'd be looking at some aggressive information from like the Fed, and there being a vacuum of money on the market. So that, in my opinion, that's the only way that's going to happen. You know, but so far we've been doing great, even bouncing off of that 12 cents resistance line, doing absolutely fantastic. We're not even consolidating at that 12 cents resistance line, which is even better than I anticipated. But outside of like the Feds, I don't think it'll happen, but we will, if we are, we'll have an idea around mid-March if we're looking for if we're looking for a break to the downside. But that's the only way that can happen, in my opinion. This 12 cents is holding up really, really well. So we need something to threaten a lot of the market makers to vacuum money out so that we can get down. But as of right now, we're holding up really, really well. So we may not even get that. We may not even get that low, to be honest with you. Let's see here, a little more. My confidence is through the roof lately. Crypto is a modern day gold rush. Just be careful and don't overinvest. Yeah. Crypto is going to, crypto is going to change a lot of lives. I think crypto is like, it's like the opportunity of investing in the stock market when it first was invented. So it's imagine if you invested in Coca-Cola 100 years ago, right? So I'm excited for the future when it comes to crypto. Let's see. We're not going to 10 cents. Sorry, you missed the boat. Yeah, we need some. We're going to need some massive threats from the government. So that 12 cents is really, really strong. We're literally getting rejections every time. It's almost like a flash crash that we get there. We're getting strong rejections, and then we bounce off of it. So I think that we're doing great when it comes down to that 12 cents resistance line. It's doing, like I said, it's doing better than I imagined. So we're going to need something. We're going to need something strong to get down to that 10 cents level. Let's see. Why do people keep wanting it to go down? We've been down for like 8 months. Everything should be. So a lot of times people, when it comes down to like DCA, it really just depends on where you bought in, how many coins you have, and how much money you have now to reinvest. So they may not be, depending on how low it goes. Obviously, the lower it goes, the more aggressively you can average down and with less money. So a lot of times the sentiment for, if you have like a 40 cents DCA, yeah, you want to go to 10 cents. So, you can average down quickly, buying coins at 1/4 of your DCA. So I think that's the sentiment for a lot of people wanting it to go down. So it just really depends on what position you're in. So I'm in a position that no matter what I buy, I'm going to be averaging up. So, so I just focus on coin count and making strategic entries. But it really just depends on the position that you're in your portfolio. Let's see here. Let's see. Hey, David. Hello, Discerning King. Hey there. 12 will hold. 1.618 level. Like I've been saying, sideways and up early spring. My prediction. There we go. So do you have any thoughts on the interest rates and the effects on the market? Do you think if they do have an aggressive approach, do you think that, well, you just said 12 will hold. So I guess you don't see it breaking past that. So I just wanted to know if you had any concrete thoughts on like the Fed's hikes and stuff like that. Because that's my biggest level of concern for me is the vacuum of money coming out. Because I looked at the pattern today, even that Bitcoin took, and with this recent pump, and Doge is still heavily tied to it. So, because I thought that for the most part, because I know Doge's market cap is still relatively high, but I thought that the lower we got, obviously the less money that would be invested into these coins by institutions. But apparently there is still a lot of institutional money in there because it is like tracing the Bitcoin pattern. I looked at both of them. I was like, Jesus. So, which again, it's not completely bad, but I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. Let's see, what are we doing with Jack in the Box? They tweeted interest in accepting Doge. Are we doing anything? Wow, when did they tweet that? I missed that one. Let me see. I'll put this here. See, Jack in the Box. Yeah, I missed Jack in the Box. Oh, was this recent? Wow, where was I? Okay. Yeah, I missed Jack in the Box there. I'll have to, I don't know. I was unaware of that until just now. See, tricky, but time will tell. Understood. Let's see. Fidelity was hating on crypto like all other banks. Now they come out and say they've been in since 2014. Do people understand? So who else is in the game? Yeah, I mean that's a common thing of institutions, even these hedge funds that have their own magazine publishing articles. Yeah, they're never going to see anything that goes against what they are actually doing. So while they tell you to sell, they're going to, as it's coming down, they're going to be coming in. So it's really all a game. So, and that doesn't even surprise me at all. Because again, like when you have certain cryptos, like the top 3 and stuff like that, they've been chosen by institutions. So that's one of the reasons why, that's the reason why they lead the market. Let's see, everything will change when Elon Starlink satellites go online with the Starlink internet. That will be the end of the current biased media monopoly. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. That marketing around there is going to have a great impact. Even from just removing the meme stigma that's around Doge, like, because I think that all of these catalysts that we have for this year, it's just simply lining the padding for building credibility around Doge. So I think that it will be absolutely fantastic for a lot of these big catalysts that we have coming up this year to execute. So I'm excited about it. I'll make sure my company and I accept Doge for cannabis products in 2023. There we go. I'm a blue collar worker and I only have 10,000 Dogecoin. I feel like my coin count is low. What is a responsible amount to have? I mean, that is, that's personal. You have to do, you have to do what you can do. So like, it's not, because if you try and compare it to other people's positions or a quota amount, it's going to end up overextending yourself. And, no one knows the exact timing of the market. We can look at charts and get like an idea, but it's not certain. If it was certain, we'd all be billionaires or trillionaires, right? So, the most important thing is you have exposure to an investment that you have conviction in, right? So you have that. The second thing is, are you comfortable in that position? And if you had like emergencies and stuff like that, are you not cutting your money in half, and are you not like over leveraged? If that is the case and 10,000 is your number, then so be it. And if you're able to bring additional money in and to increase your coin count, if you can do that gradually, then that's fine. But just consider every play as like a ladder up or a step up to your next one. So if 10,000 is your number, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I'd rather you be at 10,000 and comfortable than at 20,000 and living in fear. So, so you just kind of got to measure that on an individual basis. So that's just my 2 cents. Let's see. But let's see here. Buy Doge. Let's see. Is Doge a buy right now, or should we wait for the crypto regulation? I'm buying a little bit now because, again, you can't time anything. And I hate when the market, because I know how powerful the Fed is and stuff like that. I know how powerful the media is as well. So I try not to time it or base it completely on the charts. The charts give a great indicator, but I'm buying a little bit now just in case, things may change. So, but in my opinion, I just think that you should kind of spread out your investments so that you're not, so to give yourself an opportunity to capitalize on these lower prices if we get that break to the downside. So if you are, if you have X amount of dollars, I say just spread it out over the next few weeks, next few months, until we get some concrete data on what the Fed's going to do. Let's see. Let's see. XRP and Doge, folks. Aside from Bitcoin, Ethereum, buy. Agreed. And we have, a lot of these coins are going to do really great. So the next leg up on a lot of these cryptos is going to be fantastic. We're going to look at these prices like a few years from now and be like, oh my gosh, I've been more bullish. Something similar to, what I look at every time I see 2 cents and 1 cent. I'm like, oh my God, you know what? Probably should have went a little harder. So it is what it is. So when you have conviction, just make sure you're exploring and executing, if your conviction is telling you so. So with that, if you haven't yet liked the video, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you have not. I'll be posting a few videos tomorrow. We're going to go over like some different catalysts and stuff like that in the market, and keep an eye on this potential trend reversal, right? And we'll see kind of how everything is shaping up so that we can best prepare and navigate the market. So I don't want to make this video too long. We're already roughly at an hour. So I'll conclude it here. But again, like the video, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and I will speak with all of you tomorrow. All right, have a good night.